I'm Larry Schmidt, and this is my wife, Mariah.
Kind of outgrowing the space and we were at a point where we wanted to find kind of our dream house and where we're going to be long term. And we knew that since we worked with Lori before, that it was kind of a no-brainer to call her up again and ask her to list the house and sell it for us. And that's what she did.
Main reason I'd recommend Lori is, number one, her knowledge is unmatched. I feel like she knows so much, and it's extremely helpful trying to find the right house and kind of pointing out areas that's gonna want to steer us away. I feel like I already know a lot going into the house search and everything, and then going through the house with Lori, I walk away like, oh wow, I didn't know half as much as she said. And then the other reason I'd recommend her is she's vicious for her buyers or sellers, either side of the table. She's a vicious agent that kind of looks out for your best interests and tries to get what you need.
Yeah, I would agree with all of that. And I mean, I just love Lori as a person, but as an agent, I just know that she's going to represent us to the best that she can. And like I said before, she has the knowledge and the experience, and she's just amazing at what she does. She fights for her clients for sure.
It's been interesting. We went into it largely wanting to just get out of our old house. It was a huge stress point, and then our search turned from we want to get something stable and temporary to why not just stretch a little bit more for a longer term, one that we'd love to be in a long time.
Yeah.
So there were ups and downs. There were a couple houses that we lost out on that we really liked, but the one we're under contract now is by far much greater than the ones we had initially that we had hoped for.
Offered on.
The main thing I appreciated about Lori is that when I go through a house with her as opposed to others, I feel like I walk away knowing so much more.
Yeah.
Especially in relation to foundation concerns, and coming from a house that was very problematic. It was helpful to have Lori's insight and experience kind of help catch and point out concerning areas and homes, as well as what's good. But
yeah, both. I mean, we were pretty confident that she was gonna sell our house, and that was pretty seamless for us. You guys made it a fun process, the pictures and all that. It was fun to see you guys, and I think the listing part was pretty easy, and the team working with the whole team, and yeah, you guys just getting us to this point of finding a house. I know from experience with working with Team Gabriel as an employee and just working with you guys buying and selling houses that Lori is exceptional and knows exactly what she's doing, and she's incredibly smart in real estate. So, I mean, we trusted her completely with selling, and then, even down to the home inspection on this house and everything. She's just phenomenal. And even after a year of working with her, I'm still she just knows an insane amount of stuff. If she could run the show by herself, she totally would, because she's really smart. Process and trusting Lori and Tracy, them kind of not telling us, not pressuring us to offer more or whatever, just the whole time saying, come in where you're comfortable and we'll see what happens. And, Tracy's big thing was come in where you're comfortable. And if you don't get it, then you at least know you offered what you were comfortable with. And I mean, that seemed to work for us in the end. When we finally got what we were looking for, it worked great. So, and we appreciated them sticking with us through looking at a lot of houses.
That was kind of our goal. We wanted to get out first.
Yeah.
So that we can just be free and clear and do an offer
really
with no contingencies and
Yeah.
kind of hit the reset button for our family almost.
Yeah. And we knew we just needed to sell, and then we would have a clear picture of what we could find and buy. So it totally was a fixer upper. And then we just took advantage of the market, and it was a perfect time for us to sell it. So we were pretty happy with getting an offer over asking. But I think from, the time we sat down with Lori and that initial appointment to being under contract, I feel like it went pretty quick and smooth. And, we got the house ready relatively quickly. And then obviously once it was listed, from the coming soon to under contract, it was less than 2 weeks for that, coming soon period. And then just a couple of days of it being active and then under contract. So
should so
hopefully.
our target date is June 30th. It's May 18th today. So we set it out a month and a half, but our seller is going to be out of the house in a couple weeks, and there's a good chance our loan will get approved sooner, so we might be able to close hopefully mid-June even, maybe. I don't feel like there were any points where we were lost.
But I feel like Lori and Tammy even and Tracy, all have their ways of communicating. Like Lori's really good at communicating through email or phone call when she's available, and then Tracy's really good at just texting, responsive over text. Tammy's just good at being a TC and communicating all the closing stuff with the attorney, and she was kind of, obviously she's a behind the scenes person, but she is really good at doing her job. So I appreciated that as well. I mean, just trust the process and go with your gut and, listen to what Lori says. Lori knows what she's doing. So I mean, and just communicate. I feel like there were times where we were able to share how we were feeling or like our thoughts on something with Lori, and she takes that and receives it, and she listens as much as she has the knowledge to give out for houses and negotiations and all that.
Biggest thing in this market is kind of figure out exactly what you want and focus solely on that. Don't kind of give on it, because then you're gonna regret overpaying for a house in this market that wasn't exactly what you initially wanted. So that, and just being decisive and trusting the process and your realtors and all of that.
I was gonna say the same thing. Just don't settle just because it's a crazy market. I think one thing going into it that we absolutely did not want to feel pressured into a specific house, and we wanted it to check the boxes, and we knew that in time that would happen. So just trusting the process and not settling, unless you just don't care. But for us, we really cared about it. So just not settling for less than what you actually want.
I just gotta be patient and wait for it.